Hi, hello, and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous, also known as Ablossi Baba. I will be your oracle today. I was sent by the temple to deliberate my findings for the Soul Purpose Saturday. I will be executing said findings from Tariki Tarocchi Italiano and Italiani, Ancient Italian Tarot, and I will be imposing my guidance by Doreen Virtue's Life Purpose Oracle. Okay, I'm a little startled. I had some very strong guidance right before I started this cast here. Welcome all subscribers. I want to welcome back the returning subscribers. I want to welcome in the new subscribers. Thank you for your support. It's an honor and a privilege to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege and the pleasure to do so. We're aware that you have other viewing options. Thank you for making us one of yours. If there's any comments, questions, concerns, anything that is said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and abreast yourself of the resources in the show notes. Click below. And again, Soul Purpose Saturday, Spirit, Karma, Life Path, Destiny. Okay, your dharmic path to be in alignment with Vodoun, which is the universal rhythm of order. Okay, great. So, there we go. Okay, so we have l'Imperatore, the Emperor, crowning the Six of Cups. We have la Peso, the Hangman, crowning the Three of Cups. We have il Carro, the Chariot, crowning the King of Cups. We have la Stella, that is the Star card, crowning the Two of Wands, Due di Bastioni. And since this is firm guidance to me, the reader, so we'll go ahead and have the capstone, the crowning energy for the whole entire reading being Una di Spade, Ace of Swords. Okay. I'll impose my guidance at the end. Let us go ahead and deliberate the findings right now. Bear with me just a moment. I just want to thank all the guides, thank all the spirits, thank all the ancestors, thank all the ascended masters, thank all of those beings that are in alignment with the God sovereign free self here of humanity, of the congregation, of the temple population here watching, getting guidance, seeking spirit messages for their spirit, karma, life path, destiny, their dharmic path of illumination, enlightenment, reinvigoration, growth, expansion, vitality, for them to step into alignment with their purpose, step into alignment with their vision, their mission here in this lifetime. Any beings in alignment with our God sovereign free self, I call to thee, I thank thee. All beings not in alignment with our God sovereign free self, I revoke thee, I rebuke thee, and I forbid thee return. I banish thee. I call upon the angel of heavenly fire. I call upon the angel of protection and might and strength in the face of adversity, while we who seek to step into alignment with the truth walk forward with our heads held high in sovereign service to the serene, to the supreme commander of this world, of this time, of this frequency vibration, of this reality dimension. We call upon all those who walk through this world with humility, serenity, and grace, those who are called to serve and act and unify in alignment with the universal oneness. I thank thee, I cherish thee. Ho'onoponopono, Great Spirit. I'm sorry, I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. Ho'onoponopono, Great Spirit. We love you. We're sorry. Please, thank you. Okay. I've already been in prayers, or normally I would pray before casting the cards. So collectively, we're in a little bit of a bind. I don't quite understand, because it does say here, that is healing. So this bind might just be suspended animation. Okay. Over the next 3 weeks, we're going to be coming to different spiritual perspectives. Okay. And it is opposing healing. It is opposing reunion. So right now we're focused on work. Over the next 3 months, we're going to be stepping into our path. For me, the Emperor is duties and obligations. It is self-governance, self-mastery, but it's also autonomy, franchise, and control. Building system structures, foundations, typically new. The purpose of the Emperor is to help the goddess, the Queen of Heaven, establish in the physical foundations through which things in the material can be built upon. You know, the Queen of Heaven is embodied through the Empress, that is the earth. Okay, so it can be mind over matter, but it seems like we're focusing on healing or aligning with the path of our own calm, of our own serenity, in respect to the work that we're doing, in respect to the triune I just heard. Okay, so on our own individual side, we're moving on, moving forward, having some type of adversity, triumphing over some type of adversity. And it needs to be truth. It needs to be spiritual truth. It needs to be a truth that's in alignment with our authenticity. We're at a crossroads here. Where's our goals? Where's our wishes? Where's our dreams? Can we do the humdrum I'm hearing? You know, the mediocre, mundane, muggle version of that, you know, getting on your path, going to work, getting that paycheck, coming home, paying your mortgage, feeding your children, repeat. Rinse, cycle, repeat. Rinse, cycle, repeat. Well, no. But there's two options here. We can turn our back just for a moment on the future, which is suspended. It's not going to leave. That's okay if there's something to heal, but again, this healing will come when we choose to go in the path, in the direction of our dreams. Faith, hope, optimism. So what is that? How does it look? And when is it coming? Okay, well, over the next couple of days after watching this video, it'll be made known to us. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll come to different perspectives. Over the next couple of months, few months, 3 months, we'll start to heal. Okay, so we're adults now, but there were things that happened in a less mature time, in a less firm time, in a less stable time, in a time when we had less autonomy, less control, maybe even childhood. There was some type of unalignment. Whatever it is, we're going to be looking towards the past to heal the future. The future is right behind us. And see, with this chariot crowning us, the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is your authentic self, in place ruling from the soul. So the King, grade 13, that's you know, grand support externally. We're committing to giving something in some type of alignment, union, partnership. Well, we have a 2 here. So with our eternal spirit, right now here in the physical, through our soul body, our emotional body, our astral body, we're committing to giving emotional strength. We're committing to giving emotional triumph. We're committing to using our soul's wisdom, our soul's truth, the authenticity of our soul, the authenticity of who we actually are eternally, even though we're manifested here in the physical. We're committing to using that part of our nature, that part of ourself, to move on, move forward, drive into bigger, brighter, better. Use hope, faith, optimism, and spiritual truth, soul's wisdom, to triumph over adversity. Adversity would be distractions, caught up in communities, caught up in groups where our spiritual consciousness, our spiritual perspective is belittled, belabored, belayed, bemoaned, bewildered, begrudged. We're becoming passive, myopic, where we're feeling martyred, where we're making surrender sacrifices, when we're giving up parts of ourselves, the eternal parts of our nature, so that we can deal with some kind of emotional, okay, I'm hearing malaise, but also that's a falsity. I need to clap because I can feel the devil coming. Excuse me. When you have a lot of spirit interaction, it's better to clap. This is a lot less positive, low vibrational to go. I should have, when I banished, I should have opened a window or something so they could escape. Oh, stand back. Okay, so, you know, there's truth here, spiritual truth. It's coming from the crown. So where we are right now, what we're doing already is we're looking for guidance, spiritual guidance, hope, faith, optimism. We're looking towards higher guidance so that we can be guided along our path now, our path here. And see, what's already going on, the nature of the situation is that we are having a triumph, but it's a very spiritual triumph. It's a very, very spiritual triumph. And it revolves around truth. So the gift to give is to navigate and negotiate. But in order to navigate and negotiate, you need to understand what dominion means. Dominion means you have choices, you have actions to make. You can choose. But that means sometimes you're at a crossroads. You have this or that. By nature, at a crossroads, choosing one thing eliminates another thing. Not always, but usually. But concept and idea, it does. So if I choose path A and I walk 5 steps, 10 steps, 1 year, 5 years down path A, path B might not be there when I come back. If I choose Mr. A for a love relationship, for a romantic partnership, when I come back or single again, Mr. B might no longer be an option. He could be married, he could be in a relationship, he could have moved far away. He could not like me anymore. So that's part of this difficulty in moving on. Because I'm called to tell you, okay, forgive yourself for who you had to be to get to where you are right now. You do better, baby, when you know better, child. You do. And if you don't, you're more low vibrational than you, okay, I'll leave that there. 2 3s, well, that's a guidance card. But 2 3s means cheating, bickering, backstabbing. It doesn't always mean with another person. It can be that you're fighting your own mind, you're fighting your own spirit, you're fighting your own grace, you're fighting your own blessings. It is pretty powerful, and you are turning your back to the future for a moment. So in the subconscious, in the less evolved, you're looking back to a place when it was more comfortable, when it was more calm, when it was more easy. Instead of getting in and being a little messy and being a little uncomfortable. I have that challenge right now. I'll just share a little personal part of myself. I'm no longer going to talk about myself on the channel because it's not my channel, it's the temple's channel. But during the sermon, since I'm the priest doing the sermon, I can share my own story. All right? Excuse me, I just bumped the mic. So I'm having that story. I'm being called, I came out of a year of you know, cloudiness, let's just call it that. And I'm looking behind me and I'm realizing there were things that happened that I would not do in my right mind. And, you know, not to make excuses, but, you know, sometimes you try to make amends because you really don't want to leave that impression or even leave that mark or leave that. If there can be a better outcome, you want a better outcome, okay? And it's interesting because you have to whittle through muddy waters. And you could be looking back and saying, okay, well, I had happiness with that person. I had healing with that person. I had harmony with that person. Well, the universe is going to evolve. It's not going to stay the same. Who you were back then, you might have to lower yourself, go to a lower vibration to get back to that place. The past is in the past, it's fixed. So yeah, you can look back to the past for guidance. But honestly, what you're experiencing is to grow your soul's consciousness. So when you feel your yearning in your heart, oh, nostalgia about the past, oh, nostalgia about these feelings, great. Your soul is asking you to grow. But understand, the past is the opposite of God. I don't know how else to say that, because the fool, the whole concept and idea of the fool is things that are new, things that are strange, things that will invite your soul, your spirit to grow in and of that moment. And the way to stay in alignment with that energy is to think of ideas, creativity, inspiration, nostalgia, yearning. There's a difference between a yearning and a calling. Yearning typically limits you. It typically puts you in a lower vibrational, lower advantageous position, especially if you follow through on that yearning. Calling, when you're being called somewhere, it invites you to grow. Some people are in a relationship and they're called to be with another person. Okay, listen, I'm not third dimensional like most people. I don't use the word cheating and all that things, but if you have an agreement with your partner, say, you know, we're exclusive, then maybe your soul is asking you to sit down with your partner and tell them that you're bigger, brighter, and better, or you've grown past who you were when you first sat down and connected with them into a union, right? So if you see something that you want, your soul is calling you to grow. If you wake up one day and your circumstances are other than you want them to be, and you're focusing on the past and how things used to be, that's yearning. So the three emanations of God are the hangman, which is the preserving God. We have the creator God, which is the fool. And we have the destroying God, or the God of change. It's the same God. It's the same source energy. It just has different facets of it, because you can never understand the 100% complete version of God. God in its most absolute form, you will never in a human form fathom that, even get close to perceiving that. Okay, so the God of changes is, that's the judgment card, not the justice card, the judgment card. So here we have the God of maintaining order in the universe. Over the next 3 weeks, we're going to come to different perspectives, different spiritual perspectives. So surrenders, sacrifices that we might have made in the past, losses that we might have had in the past. I just came across my childhood best friend. That is a conversation that is very emotionally draining. Not in a bad way. There's just a healing there that I was unaware that was needed. And the deeper I go into that healing journey, the more comes up. And it's been about 3 weeks. So it's interesting. There's a lot of different perspectives now that weren't there 3 weeks ago. And if I had stood there with my back facing the future, thinking about all of the nostalgia feelings that I want back, that I've grown out of because I was a different person in a different time when I had those feelings, when I had those experiences, it probably would have taken me 3 months and not 3 weeks for some healing. So the truth is that the universe is conspiring to help you. The universe is conspiring to assist you. The universe is conspiring to aid you, to co-create with you, into building a bigger, brighter, better future. What is it that you want? Write your contract with the universe. Hey, great goddess, if I walk in truth, in serenity, humility, and grace, being the light, sometimes in the dark, to make the world a bigger, brighter, and better place, what can you give me? What might you give me? My agreement is I need consistent cannabis and consistent sleep. Anything else, and I need prayer beats. Anything else, listen, I will do whatever. I will lay down in the street and die. As long as the nights that I'm not gonna, I get my cannabis, I get my 8 hours of sleep, and I never, never, never go without a pair of prayer beats, right? And that's rather simple. Other people have other things. You know, I want my child, I want my boyfriend, I want my husband, I want my job, I want my this, I want my that. Okay, great. But listen, whatever you ask for wages from the universe, you're gonna get. So if you ask for pennies, you'll get pennies. And if you ask for millions, you'll get millions. But you have to be willing to put in the work. The work is pushing on, pushing forward, driving into the future with a bigger, brighter, and better outlook vision than you had yesterday. With a bigger, brighter, and better outlook, hope, wish, dream, aspiration than you had yesterday. You have to grow through what you go through, or you will end up under the devil's energy, stuck, giving your power away under some tyrannical belief that does not serve you. So what is your agreement with the universe? It's called un pacto. I'm hearing that word, un pacto. Your pact. What is your pact with the universe? What is your pact with the creator? Joy, happiness, fulfillment? Great. Fantastic. What are you willing to do to get there? There's going to be some people in your life you need to let go. There's going to be some places that you used to be at. People, places, and things that you can no longer revisit. The wound is where the light shines through. A broken heart is an open heart. Break yourself open to break yourself free. It's okay that you had to be whoever you had to be to get to where you are today. But tomorrow is another day. It's a bigger, brighter, better future. You can have a bigger, brighter, better vision right now and see a bigger, brighter, better dawn tomorrow. The journey of 1,000 miles, 1,000 steps begins with one. You don't need to know what tomorrow clearly looks like. What do you want? What is alive in you? Weigh up your options. You don't need to know every single thing. A few tiny little things need to be in you. Your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your drive, desires, passions, motivation, your heart's desires, soul's ambitions. Those are the only things you need. What is your spiritual currency? Your faith, your hope, your optimism, your creativity, belief, imagination. That's all. That's all. You could be spirit-filled with those things alone. You don't need to know how to make the perfect prayers. You don't need to know how to do the perfect magic trick. You don't need to know how to do anything perfectly, read your cards perfectly, know anything perfectly. All you have to have is the desire to see a bigger, brighter, better dawn, and the universe will reach out to assist you. If you take 2 steps, the universe will take 5, 10. You have to show up and be willing. You'll miss 100% of the shots you don't take, 100% of them. Live to deal with the pain and the regret of your decisions, not the decisions you didn't make. Regret the things you did, not the things you didn't do. Come on. You can deal with the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. I'm dealing with that right now. I understand. The truth is that you're going to drive forward regardless if you are in alignment with your authentic self. If you look at your old self, your vulnerable self, of who you used to be, the time when things were more comfortable, it's going to take you 3 months to get healing with something that you can't get anymore. It's going to take you 3 times to recognize that that was a past, a more immature version, a younger version of you. Because in reality, God wants to bless you with things that you can't see right now. The thing about the hangman is, until you get to a higher vibration, you won't even recognize the consciousness of what it is that you want. Sometimes you're being blessed and you can't even recognize or realize it because you're focused on the past. You're focused on comfort, security, things that are a figment of your imagination. Yes, of course, you might need to master a few things in the physical. You might need to build a foundation for yourself so that you can sleep at night. So there's not wolves walking over your tent, over your body as you're sleeping on the ground. You might need to put yourself in a house or something. Okay. But spiritually, there's not a lot of guarantees other than universal love and oneness. The universe is dying to co-create with you, aching to co-create with you, yearning to co-create with you, calling you back home. Are you listening? Do you hear the call of the wild? Do you hear the call of your ancestors, of your spirits, of your ascended masters, of your guides? Do you hear your future calling to you, your higher self calling you home? Are you distracted somewhere? This old lover, this old house, this feeling of comfortability that you have the first 3 weeks of your job, the first 3 weeks of work. You know what I mean? Something you can't get back because now you know better and you're not doing better. That's attachment. That's the devil. Bound to something that did not serve you. Instinctual and not spiritual. Reacting and not responding. Not proactive, reactive. Animalistic in your nature, root senses. Or are you in your spiritual senses? Detached, observant, neutral. Willing to surrender right now, willing to sacrifice for right now, because the future is bigger, better, and better. And you can move on, move forward in accordance with your authentic self, divine truth, to weigh up your options and practice dominion over the future. You can strike your will upon the universe if you're co-creating with the universe. So again, I'm going to be imposing my guidance from Doreen Virtue's Life Purpose Oracle cards. We have environmentalist. You are an earth angel who was born to protect, nurture, and teach about the laws of the universe, nature, and animals, okay? And this is on the grounds of spiritual teacher, support, and children. In my hand here, I have music. So music to me is more than just making music, making sounds, because sounds are frequencies, frequencies are colors, colors are vibrations, the universal language. So music is also rhythm, being in sync, synchronicity. You know, for me, one of the questions that I ask in my coaching with clients is, hey, do you usually have a song in your head or a story? Is there usually a conversation going on in your head all the time, or a song? So I'm asking, like, what vibration, what resonance, what frequency, energy, vibration are you in? Now, if we're environmentalists, we're here as earth angels. What is an earth angel? An earth angel is someone who's firmly grounded in earth, but understands, subscribes, and embodies a higher law. An earth angel is a bridge where divine energy can get through firmly to anything here in the physical. Angels bring divine energy from the heavens down, because God can't touch earth. If you understand God the way I understand God, if God comes to earth, he will destroy the earth. His energy, the power, the vibration is too strong. In our current reality, frequency, energy, vibration, it would be repellent. You know, magnets, the energy is too strong. You know, divine truth will repel a lot of darkness. Think about it. When you turn the light on in a dark room, don't the roaches run back to the corner? You know, if a lion goes to the watering hole, don't most of the animals run away? Especially if they're not at the watering hole, like if they're out on the Sahara, on the savannah, out just in the wild, right? So God to me is a lion. You don't need to agree, but I'm a mystery school teacher, so that's what I believe. It's interesting, you know, one lion walking through the wild can make a whole herd of animals disappear. So to me, humanity is a herd of animals. They're going to run, they're going to scatter. The reason that there's prey and predators is because the predator predates. And you need to pray in order to rise that consciousness. So the thing about it here is we're teachers. That's what an earth angel is. They anchor in divine energy here on earth. You know, that heavenly energy, that divine energy, it needs to come through different ways, realms, frequencies, energies, dimensions, portals, etc. And it's hard sometimes for the divine realm, which is the 7th dimension and above, to get things out here on the 4th. It's hard to even get it through the 3rd. The 4th dimension is the astral. You know, that's where a lot of the aching souls are. that feed on humanity through fear, through lust, through depression, degradation, dereliction, destruction. Okay, the spiritual world is the fifth dimension and above. So how does that heavenly energy get down here on earth? Through angels. An earth angel is somebody with a divine light, a divine purpose, a divine virtue who's anchored here into the physical. Okay, you are an earth angel who was born to protect, to nurture, to teach about the rules, policies, procedures of the universe. The only rule is to be in alignment. How do you be in alignment? Well, you learn who your authentic self is. And let me tell you a secret. When you show up to the truth of who you are and it repels what is around you, that is a gift. If you lose a person, place, or thing, and you gain yourself, my darling, please understand that you are the one who is winning. If you show up and you're honest about what's alive in you, who you are, and what you want, and what you see, when you wake up and you open your heart and you open your eyes and you open your arms to the possibilities the universe offers you, guess what? Sometimes what's around you gets repelled. What do I say? When you turn the light on in a dark room, the roaches run back to the corner. So this environmentalism, it's really being an earth angel here to usher in a bigger, brighter, better, a cleaner reality. Environmentalism is about cleaning up the earth, right? Well, environmentalism on an angelic level is about cleaning up this realm. This realm is caca, it's dirty, it's full of distractions to separate you from the divine. So what do? Well, first of all, spiritual teaching. You heal with classes, sessions, seminars, anything that is teaching. I know people that are therapists. They call themselves shamans with a degree. I know people that are hairdressers, you know. I know people that are Uber drivers. They're still doing spiritual work. They're still doing light work. It doesn't matter what position, what role you are, as long as you are healing, as long as you're spreading the light, the divine truth. You know, support. Your life purpose fully supports you, but also we're here supporting others. Sometimes a person just needs a place to go to know that what they're experiencing is not because of them. It is for them, not happening to them. Children, it's not just, as a teacher, it's not just physical children, young children, but it's also spiritual children, clients, spiritual children, okay? Now, in addition, the children born after 93, especially the born after 2003, they're coming in with karmic slates so they're clean. These crystal children, these rainbow children, they're, especially the rainbow children, they are not born into toxic households. If they are, they're not a rainbow child, they're a crystal child. Okay, now some of these children are coming in, these children are going to usher in a new vibrational reality. The reality that these children are going to be seeing is going to be much different than ours. This crap, this caca reality is not going to persist much longer, especially past the election in the US, regardless of where you're watching in from. Thank you, all my international subscribers. Listen. These children that we're raising, that are being born today, the world that we know will not exist for them. Hate is taught. Fear is taught. Fear, shame, those are, you know, that is a virus placed on your hard drive to make your system malfunction. When a computer doesn't work at its full potential, it has to live under another computer. It becomes a hard drive for a bigger operating system. It gets plugged into a matrix. If you understand operating systems, you'll understand what I mean, but let me get away from the technical reference. So we have here, again, environmentalism, and it's more so than about the earth. I look at it as this is a divine realm that we're having to clean up, because this is the stage on which creation happens. Everything in the spiritual world is built off of what happens here. The earth itself, the surface of the earth, is the table through which God does his business. He's the chief executive, honey. He has vice presidents, executive vice presidents, senior vice presidents, directors, managers, team leads, and supervisors. That's us. Do you understand? So when I say environmentalism, I'm thinking about the table where God does his business. Well, we have the supervisors and the team leads. That's the spiritual teacher. We're offering support to the children, those who are the new hires, the new cadets, the new enrollees, the new ensigns. They're enrolling, they're signing up, inseñas in Italiano. So when someone who becomes attached, neophytes, novices, they attach themselves to the new vibrational reality that we're ushering in for the future. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you today. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. We're aware that you have other viewing options. Thank you for making us one of yours. Until we meet again, until we read again, Namaste, Dandavat, and Ashe. Again, as I said, if anything that I said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and check the link in the show notes. Until we meet again, until we read again. Namaste, Dandavat, and Ashe. Arrivederci. Buonasera. Ciao. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Sayonara.